What's up, everyone? This is Clock Management. I'm your host, Justin.
I'm your host, Bogart Scott. We're going to get right into this thing.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me on.
What is up? It's week 10. I'm Justin, and as always on Sunday mornings, I'm joined by the Fantasy Peacock.
What is up? I mean, not always, but I try.
It's always the plan.
Yeah, that's always the plan. A Saturday night happens, and sometimes Saturday nights run into Sunday mornings, and we do our best.
Speaking of things not going to plan, we are still waiting for one person to get here with Bogart. He's just running a few minutes late, so he should be here any minute.
He should. He was awake and in the group chat before we started the show. So
yeah, no, I have confidence he will make it. Oh, good morning, Jimmo.
Good morning, Jimmo. From the East Coast.
I just realized it's weird when I type the reply on here, it also posts it on the live Facebook, which I don't even know if anyone's watching, but I see my own comment on there. I'm like, that's weird. Okay. Well, before we, I guess we could start talking about some injuries, but I did want to bring up the first one, probably the biggest headline news, right? We got Robert Woods, who is out for the season, and then we also, and because of that, Odell Beckham Jr. all of a sudden a little more in play.
Right. Yeah. Hey, good morning, Bogart.
And here is Bogart. What up? Good morning.
Hey, top of the morning, fellas.
So we're just talking Robert Woods being out for the season. Odell Beckham Jr. obviously just got signed to the team. He's playing this week. Are you guys starting him?
If you're in a pinch, yeah, I would start him. I mean, it's addition by subtraction, right? There's no Robert Woods. He's gonna get even in week 1 with the Rams, he's probably gonna get 5 or 6 targets easily.
Yeah, they say he may return punts. They don't know about that either, but he's going to get some work. So, I mean, if you're in a pinch, you can use him. I don't think he's going to get overworked or just come in and take over what Robert Woods had, going into this week. I think that it's going to take a couple of weeks for that to kind of develop and materialize. So I think it's more of a Van Jefferson type of week this week if you're really looking for somebody other than Cooper Kupp there, to play. But I do like Odell in a few weeks time, and this is a good spot start on Monday night for you to kind of check out and see what develops. My wife is out of town for the entire week, so my kids are here. So
they'll be in and out of the show today. Don't worry, we'll keep it kid friendly.
All right, cool. So I got up early and I made them breakfast, and they're ready to roll. It's just
nice.
They should be in the other room watching TV maybe for a little bit, but
she's
we'll
like,
see.
No.
This one's the one that doesn't listen at all. So
let's help Jimmo here. He's got for a flex Dawson Knox or Tim Patrick.
That's crazy, Jimmo, because in my home league, I have Dawson Knox, and I'm starting Ertz over him this week, where right now I have him that way in the lineup. But one of my league mates offered me Tim Patrick for Dawson Knox in a trade, and I've just kind of been sitting on it this week and just kind of looking I don't know, because I just lost Robert Woods to that injury. And the day before that Robert Woods injury, I traded away Devonta Smith for Brandon Cooks, and Brandon Cooks is on bye this week. So I'm playing Jamal Agnew as my wide receiver 2 this week. The good thing about that is in this particular league, you get kick and punt return yards per the player. So he's going to be fine. I'll get 6 points, so it'll be okay.
And how about this? The
Isla, go see what your brother's doing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Colts secondary, they give most.
I want to watch secretary.
Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
So you got that.
It's cutting you off.
Oh, am I in the Matrix?
There you go. You're good.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say the Colts secondary, they give up the most 20-yard touchdown passes, right, in the league, or 14 plus yard, I should say, and then they just give up splash plays to the outside receivers. So Agnew might have a nice game.
Yeah, but to get back to Gemo here with Tim Patrick or Dawson Knox, I think that the Bills were in a slump, particularly because Dawson Knox was not in the lineup. I think that was a big problem with their offense not functioning like the way it had been in previous weeks before his injury. So you kind of saw 2 weeks of the Bills kind of like struggling to find their way, and you saw Cole Beasley getting a huge bump in targets, and he's going to be, I think, a little banged up for this game as well. So I think Knox is a good play. You just got to see what's up with his hand. But I saw images or video of him at practice. I think that he's fine. Tim Patrick,
they didn't even list him on the injury report.
Right. Tim Patrick to me is a little more inconsistent, maybe just because of quarterback play or game flow. So it just depends on what happens there. Plus Jerry Jeudy's back. Plus Noah Fant is no longer on, I believe, the COVID list or whatever he was listed on from last week. So I don't particularly see him having like a blow up game. He's going to maybe be mediocre for you if you want. I think if you're looking for some upside and you're going to flex one of these guys, I would personally flex Dawson Knox, even though I'm not doing it in this one league where I have him right now. I'm waiting and seeing to see what happens with his hand this week.
Yeah,
because I like Ertz, but you know what? I had that going on before Murray was listed to not play, so I may just switch my lineup here in the next couple of minutes and put Knox in over Ertz.
I'm going Knox here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Knox. The Eagles are really good against outside receivers. Like the slot receiver tends to eat a lot against the Eagles. They play more zone than man over there. So like, someone like Keenan Allen last week, put up, 10 catches for 100 yards. So I think this is a big Jerry Jeudy game, and Tim Patrick's hurt. So I'm gonna roll the dice with Knox.
Ooh, it's a little overexposure. I was trying to get some sunlight in here.
All right, back to some injuries. We got questionable Julio Jones is out.
Yeah, Julio's out.
Yeah.
He is on the IR, I believe.
Yeah, due to a hamstring injury that he's had for what seems like 3 years now.
Oh, yeah, that's tough news.
Yeah, this was why I was avoiding him at the beginning of the season, was due to this.
When Julio Jones, I mean, I know he has children, right? Did you guys hear his son born with a hamstring?
That's tragic.
It's like hereditary.
So at this point he reminds me of AJ Green, where he's just perpetually banged up every year.
His son didn't learn how to walk till he was 2, bro. Yeah, he nursed the hamstring first.
That Alvin Kamara also out in this game.
Yep, that one hurts also.
Yeah.
So
do you think where you got Mark Ingram at?
Oh yeah, well I like Mark Ingram. I have Mark Ingram in a few dynasty leagues because unfortunate for me, that was the way it was rolling, and it just so happens that because of injury and a couple other things that happened in those particular leagues, I'm starting Mark Ingram particularly this week. I think that he's going to get a lot of carries. The offensive line is a lot better than the Texans' offensive line, so his yards per touch will be a lot higher. And the offense is better, so he'll have a scoring opportunity perhaps at the goal line. So there'll be a serviceable flex RB3 play today, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think he's got, our high RB2 upside to him.
Yeah, who are they playing?
The Titans.
Yeah, that defense isn't like... I mean, although they've had some turnovers and they've been great for fantasy, they've been, allowing a lot of points. So,
yeah. What is it called? I do want to factor in that Mark Ingram is god awful
and old, very old.
He's a volume play.
Yeah.
He's an RB2 this week. If he falls into the end zone like multiple times, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He is Latavius Murray there. I mean, he's older, but
It's the difference is there's no Drew Brees, not even Jameis Winston. So it's like, how much can we trust Trevor Lawrence? And then also, Taysom Hill will come in there on the goal lines here and there. So, I mean, I would temper my expectations
You
with.
said Trevor Lawrence.
I'm sorry, Trevor Cinnamon.
Yeah. I'm like, whoa. Was there a trade?
Yeah. So you got Cinnamon over there, and then you got fucking what's his name? Taysom.
Yeah.
Taysom Hill.
Yeah, which I mean, I think Trevor's going to hand the ball off a lot. Like, you don't want to put the game in his hands.
It's just that they're going to stack the box on him because there's no respecting Trevor Simeon.
Yeah, Simeon.
His arm, you know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. All right, Zack Wilson is doubtful in the Jets game. Also in that game, Corey Davis is questionable and Zach Moss, but Zach Moss will be playing.
Yeah, Zach Moss is going to play, and I'm hoping that he does, and he does what they do, and he kind of looks like the better running back because one of my opponents this week is starting Singletary. So, do
we get a bounce back week from Mike White?
Yeah,
I would hope so. That'd be fun for the NFL.
I think bounce back for White Mike is more so, that the running backs are gonna and Elijah Moore will be okay. You know what I mean? In fantasy.
Yeah. They still lose the game though, right?
Most likely.
Asking for a friend. Oh yeah, they still definitely lose the game. But asking for a friend, Zach Moss or Alex Collins.
Oh, that one's pretty tough.
Yeah.
I would go with Moss.
Okay.
Who's Seattle? Who are they facing?
They play
Green Bay.
Yeah,
Green Bay. I don't know, man. I kind of like Alex Collins, but only because I'm forced to play Alex Collins in a couple of leagues, I guess. So that's
Alex Collins in there right now. You know what I mean? But
I mean, he's the starting running back, so he's going to get more volume than Zach Moss is. I'm just banking on more red zone carries for Zach Moss to get a touchdown.
Not only does he get the red zone carries, but he's the guy in the fourth quarter when they chew the clock out. But what I'm also wondering is how big a case of the dizzies does he have? You know what I mean? Like, because that concussion is a real thing. You know?
Yeah. Okay.
Indeed.
I'm gonna do one more, and then I'm gonna get to one of our segments here. I'm gonna start with Jay's bust of the week. So we got the Detroit Lions against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Jamal Williams and Chase Claypool are both out in that game, and Big Ben is also out. So we get to see Rudolph leading this team. Man, I want to see him against the Browns again, though.
Man, I had Freiermuth in my lineup.
Yeah, take him out.
I think I'm gonna have to take him out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still the Lions. It's still the Lions, and I think the Muth is like the second look. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but is Rudolph smart enough to go to the second look?
Yeah, will he get there? Or will he just get sacked or something?
Or just force it to the first look?
Yeah, look, I got Mark Ingram here. I have to because that league I'm just dead in the water.
Yeah,
right
also I just hate Rudolph, so I could be biased here.
Yeah, he's a racist.
Yeah, for sure.
Boston Scott or Alex Collins?
Alex Collins, and I don't want to say that because I'm forced to start Boston Scott in a league.
Yeah.
But okay. So yeah, let me get to Jay's thing. We did have some technical issues, and I only got half of his video. So if you guys want to see the Maddie Daddy portion of this video, you're gonna have to go to Jay's Twitter account. Also, that's not just a shameless plug to get you to go to Jay's Twitter account. It's just a fact. I'm sorry.
It's the way you got to do it.
All right, we'll be right back.
What's up, gentlemen, and thank you so much for having me again. Of course, I am Jay the Plug with Jay's Busts of the Week, starting off with QB Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has been a little bit lackluster, to say the least. He's going up against the Broncos, so who knows? But he is also the type of guy who'll have 1.5 points going into the fourth quarter and then end with 25. So just steer clear of Jalen Hurts this week. At the running back position, I hate to say it, Antonio Gibson. With Patterson popping up and J.D. McKissic catching everything out of the backfield, until something big happens with Antonio Gibson, I'm keeping him on my bench. Not dropping him, keeping him on the bench. Wide receiver, DJ Moore. He is, since week 5, I believe, wide receiver number 49. It does not look great for Moore. Granted, Cam is coming back, so that could help things, but until I see something, that's another guy that's staying on my bench. Tight end, this one bit me before, but Zach Ertz. He has no red zone targets, and unless he makes big plays, he doesn't normally do too great. So I'm keeping Zach Ertz on my bench. I was going to say Gesicki, but it's after that Thursday night game. Wish I would have done these before Thursday, so I look like a genius. He goose egg, but Zach Ertz, I'm keeping him on my bench.
So I'm going to bench Zach Ertz then.
yes. That's why I wanted to make sure I got that in here for you.
All right.
And anyone else out there, which I mean, I think is good advice too.
I with Colt McCoy, I think most likely starting as well.
Yeah. Though Colt McCoy did just destroy me and Bogard's 49ers, unfortunately.
Yeah, but he didn't do it using the tight end. So
no, he did not.
That was all James Conner, if you really think about it.
I haven't seen any news. Is it going to be Colt McCoy this week?
That's my guess. They were optimistic, or they were
not optimistic.
They were the opposite of that. They were doubtful that Kyla Murray was going to be able to play. I think it was kind of be like a call on him on game time, or not even on him. They're probably going to just be like, I think we'll sit you. You don't look too well here before.
I want to.
I hate it when they do that.
Yeah, that's the worst.
I just want to say I hate James Conner.
Yeah, we talked about that. I think on Wednesday of last week.
It was like we even brought him up on the What If series at like the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He's been a thorn in the side.
No, he's playing exactly the role that I expected him to, unfortunately.
A-hole.
Yeah, just coming in, ruining people's fantasies.
Yeah, and then it makes me even more that I have no James Conner, because when I was in drafts, someone would draft James Conner and I'd be like, idiot.
I mean, Arizona does play Carolina, and they haven't been.
Hold on, I gotta take this phone call. I'll be back.
Sure. They haven't been. What did he say? Dope boy things or something. But yeah, he hasn't been. Like I said, he hasn't been awful. He doesn't have any red zone targets because of last week. But they did manufacture, I believe, like a carry, like on his first week that he was with Arizona. And a couple of his targets have come just outside of the red zone, and he's gotten stopped at the 1 yard line, I think, like twice. So the thing with him is he hasn't gotten into the end zone. So I think if he does, which he probably could against Carolina, I'm going to regret benching him. But I think it's still smart. I think it's still smart because it's not Kyla Murray.
Yeah.
I do think Cliff Kingsbury is going to dial up stuff for his playmakers, and he didn't just trade for him for nothing. So. I still think that there's some upside there.
I think Eno Smith is actually a pretty good play as well. He's projected like 3 points. I think that if you're desperate, he's a good play. So I think the 3 points is low for him, and I would expect to see him between like the 5 or 6 and 10 range.
Yeah, with all the guys out, there are teams on bye this week, and then with the injuries, COVID. Running backs with tough matchups, like you mentioned, Antonio Gibson was one of his busts. I actually this morning went through one of my lineups and I dropped Antonio Gibson because you can only roster 3 running backs in this particular league. At one time, you can't move anybody. There's no IR spots or anything like that. So week to week, I lost David Montgomery a few weeks ago. Somebody else has him now. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the way it rolls. And I have Alvin Kamara out today.
Forces you to make tough decisions,
right? So I'm a Ernest Johnson, and who's the other guy I picked up this morning? Let me tell you right now.
I love
I dropped. And Williams, Gerald Williams from Kansas City. So I dropped Antonio Gibson for Gerald Williams this morning.
Man, I love that Ernest Johnson is a thing again, because it's like the Ernest movies, right? It's like another, iteration of this, right? Yeah, it's the sequel. And I just hope we keep getting sequels just like the Ernest movies.
Sure. This one's Ernest Goes Stupid on the other team's defense or something.
Yeah, Scared Stupid. Ernest Goes to the Army.
Ernest Goes to the end zone.
Jail.
Yeah.
Well,
Ernest Goes to the NBA.
Hopefully.
They did that. Ernest went to the NBA at one point.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Hakeem, or no, who was it? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was in it.
Oh, I was gonna say Hakeem Olajuwon.
No, yeah.
Just when you thought he couldn't make it any bigger, he became the voice of Slinky on
on Toy Story.
Yeah, he's the voice of Slinky.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that till I was looking him up when I started making memes. All right, so also James Robinson is questionable with a heel contusion, which is a bruise on your heel. He missed last week, but he's expected to play this week.
I mean, we should have news by now, right? We're about an hour and a half out.
I didn't
on
see
James
anything.
Robinson. Right here.
Saw he was expected to play.
Source: Jaguars starting running back James Robinson battling a heel injury, will play today.
Nice, awesome. And he's in my lineup if I have him.
I do not have him in any teams, but I'd imagine that I would start him if I heard that news.
Yeah, I mean, like when you look at, they beat the Bills last week 9-6. They need James Robinson. He's their offense.
Yeah, for real.
Good.
Oh, here we go. Kyla Murray will test. And DeAndre Hopkins will also give it a go pregame, but they don't sound optimistic.
Yeah,
either.
No, honestly, if I literally have choices that I gotta make in earlier game slots, I'm going the other way. I'm risk it. And
I feel like
I have Murray on the bench,
waiting for Murray to test his to decide if he's
I'll
going
play a
to
few
play.
snaps.
He's like, I'm still hurt too.
I have Derek Carr and Ryan Tannehill starting today in place of Kyler Murray in 2 leagues. So that's just the way it goes.
It's a real thing where when you look, if you're the Cardinals, you look at how they were able to beat the last.
Are you opposed to picking up Colt McCoy?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're opposed to it?
That way you can wait.
Yeah, because here's the thing is if I'm going to wait, I would pick up Jimmy G or something like that, because Jimmy G is coming off of back-to-back 300-yard games, and then you could wait him out because he's on a Monday night, right? So you could see.
Yeah.
But also, too, it's I don't want to play a wounded Kyler Murray. If Kyler Murray's not running around, he doesn't have the same value. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and he's hurt. So.
And he could come out of the game.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm hoping Jalen Hurts has a big week this week. Just saying, he has a tough matchup, so that means he's going to be really, really awful for most of the game, and then in the fourth quarter, tear it up. And that's my guess. I'm hoping.
Going back to Colt McCoy, he's in there to not ruin the game. You know what I mean? He's not going to win no games. It's good defense. They're going to run the ball a lot. You know what I mean? And then you couple that with the fact that they beat the Niners last week with a backup. If they would have lost to the Niners, that would have been great. 1, but then 2, you would be more dire to start your guys like Nuke.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and then now they're looking across the field, and it's PJ Walker led Carolina Panthers. They're not tripping. They're not going to run their guys out today.
Yeah, he needs to step it up and look like he did in the XFL, because he needs to come out and be MVPJ. You know what I mean?
Well,
the thing is, he doesn't run out here in the NFL like he did back in the XFL. And the XFL is running all over the place, and he also had a go-to receiver. And I don't know what's up. I don't know what's up with him not hitting Robbie Anderson or DJ
the,
Moore.
The competition there was a little bit different, though. The
It's also
defense
true.
is probably
The
not
defenses
quite
are probably
as
super
great.
soft. Yeah.
Yeah, a little more vanilla as well. All right, but I'm gonna get to this next segment now. It's everyone's favorite. All right, this is where I give 3 stats. 2 of them are true. 1 of them I made up.
I'm good at these when I write them down.
The lie. All right, are you guys ready?
As ready as I'm going to be.
The Falcons have allowed the least plays of over 40 yards this season. The Broncos allowed the least passing completion percentage in the NFL. And the Falcons have had 4 times as many touchdowns scored on them as the Bills.
This one's tough.
I'm gonna go with the Broncos is true. I'm gonna go with the 40-yard one. I'm going with I think the first one is wrong.
The Falcons allowed the least plays of over 40 yards.
Yeah.
It seems outlandish. It seems so outlandish that it's probably true. I'm
gonna be wrong. Don't join me on this because I'm gonna be wrong.
I'm gonna go. Damn it! I'm gonna go with the last one on this one. I'm gonna say that the Broncos one is true. We're probably both gonna be wrong, but I'm gonna go with the last one on this one as the lie.
Miles, you are correct. So the Falcons have allowed 0 plays of over 40 yards.
Wait. Which one was correct?
The Falcons have had 4 times as many touchdowns as the Bills, it's pretty close. The Falcons have 20. The Falcons have 18. The Bills have 5.
Oh, wow.
So it's close. Washington and the Colts both have 20 touchdowns scored on them. So they have, for them, that would have been correct for Washington or the Colts. Wow. But yeah, Falcons have 0 plays, which I thought was crazy, of over 40 yards, yet they have the 3rd most touchdowns scored on them.
That's why I was saying, I was like, that's it seems too outlandish to not be true for some reason. That's not the one that's the one that Bogart went with right at first.
Yeah.
Nice.
I know. That's why I like doing these, because I get to find strange stats that just stick out like that.
Yeah, that surprised me.
All right, so back to some of these injuries. That
was fun.
The Cleveland Browns versus the New England Patriots. Damian Harris is out. Rondell Stevenson, I believe, is questionable, right?
He is questionable, but they believe that he's expected to play.
Okay.
I still like Bolden. I like Bolden more in this game, just for some reason. I was going to
ask.
For some reason, just because he doesn't carry a questionable tag, and I feel like Belichick will be like, okay, this guy's been healthy all week. He's been in practice all week.
Yeah, been practicing all week, which is important to Bill.
Right.
Backs. The pass catching running backs are the ones that eat against the Broncos. I mean the Browns front, because you know what I'm saying, their front's very stout against the run, like between tackles. So it's all,
you got to get past them and then get the ball.
Yeah,
I have a leak with Bolden somewhere. I just don't remember. I mean,
as we already talked about, Ernest Johnson's great play this week.
Yes, I believe so. I'm starting him.
Great movie series, I swear.
Chubb out, Peterson out, Gibson on my bench.
Yeah. Felton's also out with COVID-19.
Oh, I'm playing Cordero here, so of course I'm fine with my running back there. I'm fine benching Peterson and Gibson for Corduroy.
Yeah, man, Corduroy, the Corduroy King. I'm liking him for daily as well. Like I mean,
Is he
quick
cheap or what?
plug.
I don't know what he's priced at on these sites.
So, I mean, we've been messing with this new website, Super Draft Pros, where
Right.
it doesn't have them priced, but it gives multipliers to players, right? So, like, for example, I want to say he has like a 2.3 multiplier on him or something for some reason. So I'm starting him in all my lineups on there.
I'm trying to think who was the foul. Oh, they're playing.
Also, if you guys want to do daily fantasy sports, go to the down below in the bio or link, whatever it's called, the additional information below. And there's a link to Super Draft Pros, and it's legal in all 50 states. That's why, I mean, I'm in Washington. It's the only one I can do.
Yep. There you go. Question for a friend. Marvin Jones, Jamal, Agnew, or Cole Beasley?
If I have the option, I'm going Marvin Jones because like I said, the Colts, they're giving up the most 20 plus yard receptions. They also gave up the most touchdowns, 14 yards and up in the entire league. They're giving up a 65% completion rating to outside receivers. So it's kind of a roll of the dice between the two. But if I had to, I'd go Marvin Jones.
Nice.
Yeah,
Or
I'm looking at my rankings. I have Marvin Jones the highest.
Okay, cool. I was going to say, you could throw Jarvis Landry in there also. How do you feel about him?
Nah,
I do like Landry. I have him one
more
spot
than
above
Beasley?
Marvin Jones, in fact. One spot.
They're playing the Patriots. I'm not testing that secondary. That secondary is very, very good.
Yeah, I think with him, it's just a volume play, right? Like I'm expecting him. Is it full PPR?
I believe it is, yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think I
it's
go
full
with him
PPR.
in full PPR.
What's crazy about Landry is they put him in the slot more often than not, right? And I've seen him out wide, here and there. But
Javonte. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
no, it's just he gets taken off the field when they go 12 personnel, and then the outside receivers ends up being Rashard Higgins and Jones. You know what I mean? So that's why my other knock on Landry.
Yeah. I mean,
that makes sense, and it's a run first team also.
Yeah.
Brady, I agree. I'm going with Javonte in this.
Yeah, Javonte.
Let's see. Okay, I have Bolden here, but I'm starting.
Brady and I actually took accounting together in high school.
Better guys. Oh, cool.
We're the only two students in that class.
I was about to say, like, accounting in high school.
Yeah, that's how nerdy I am.
You're gonna be crunching stats somehow. Huh?
Yeah, I did stats in college like twice, and I was like, all right, this is enough. Actually, I took three different stat classes. So I took one of anthropology, regular stats class, and then one of.
When I say we were the only ones in that class, I mean that because even our teacher wasn't there. She taught two classes at the same time, so she just gave us a book and left.
Nice. You guys go. Ladies.
I used to sell narcotics growing up, so like I learned all my math there.
All your accounting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Streets.
What guys? How do we feel about Cam Newton?
I like him for.
I don't know if he's playing.
I don't think he's playing this week.
He's not playing this week, but yeah, next week. I like him, bro. He if you look at what he did with the Patriots, all he could do was dump it short. So a guy like Jacoby Myers, like he benefited big time. So I like CMC and DJ Moore to benefit. You know what I mean? I don't think it'll be great for reality purposes. But like just for those guys, because those are the only guys to have in fantasy over there, right?
Yeah, you remember those days when they were all together? It was a party.
And you know what? Too? You know what he said too? This is funny. He said when he left, DJ Moore is Simba, right? And now that he's back,
yeah, that's right. I saw that quote.
Back, he's a full lion, but like he can't be Mufasa because he's
still Mufasa. So silly.
I haven't looked at anything. Oh, so Aaron Rodgers back. So if you guys were wondering about that, Aaron Rodgers is playing. Go ahead and throw him in your lineup. Have you guys seen any? I know Russell Wilson is playing, but have you seen anything about his finger? Is it Like, is it good to go, or is he just able to play?
According to
I don't know
Twitter,
what that means.
Russell Wilson, and I quote, said, "Just remove the pin. Now it's time to win."
And that was a few days ago already, like several days ago. He had like I think he was practicing since Wednesday. And I didn't see any film. I don't know what the media saw in the media portion for any of the practices, but it's Russell flipping Wilson. And if he can't throw it, that means his rushing floor is going to be higher probably. That's my guess, because he's going to want to play and compete. And that just helps, give me some confidence in starting him. I need to start him in a lot of super flex leagues. It's either him or like Taylor Heineke or
if we see, this is how I could tell if there's a problem early on, is if like they have him out of the shotgun a ton. You know what I mean? Because it'd be like, okay, he needs extra like seconds, like an extra second just to like adjust. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He posted a really weird video of him like rehabbing his finger and stuff and made it very dramatic. I'm like, you missed like a couple weeks. This wasn't, you make it seem like it's a career-ending injury.
Well,
you came back from.
For someone like Russ, it is crazy because we've never seen him not play. You know what I mean? He was an Iron Man. You know what I mean? He just doesn't hurt, but now the iron is rusty. I'm gonna get to Maddie's video now for the starts of the week. Thank you, Maddie.
Woo! Clack, 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 clack. Maddie, Daddy, we're here. Week 10 starts. Get McKissick. McKissick in your lineups. We're talking Washington's RB2. RB2 on the season, though. RB24. Say what? Tampa Bay is stout against the run. We've seen Gibson with the shin injury. Oh! But what has McKissick done? He's consistently produced third in targets, receptions, and receiving yards at the running back position on the year. The last 3 games, 20 receptions to 182 yards. Last 3 games, 19, 10, 17. That's fantasy production in your starting lineup. Get McKissick there. McKissick, I think I love you. You know who I don't love? I don't love Jay the Plug. Get him out of here, because he's a sit for week 10. Jay, we're just getting started. Me and you and me, you, me and you, brother. We're just getting started. I'm waiting for that belt so I can put a little chin music in your face. God in heaven, sweet chin music. Hey, Jay, I can dig it. Sucker! Woo!
That was awesome.
Yeah, I love that sweet chin music part at the end. Like that was amazing.
Yeah, it's the greatest heel turn in history. So we're about to witness that. It's good stuff.
What do you in the barbershop?
Yeah. Noah Fant is back from COVID as well, so he will be playing today.
I got a whole bunch of breaking fantasy news here, courtesy of Sleeper. Actives: James Robinson, Chris Godwin, Michael Gallup, Ramondre Stevenson, Trent Brown, Taylor Decker, Jeremiah Owusu Komara. I hope I did that one all right. Dwayne Haskins.
I skipped that one.
Inactive: Jonnu Smith, Zack Wilson, Greedy Williams, Marlon Mack, and Josh Reynolds.
Speaking of Gallup, what are you guys expecting out of Gallup?
Probably back to that Cedric Wilson role, or that
I think.
At best, hopefully.
CeeDee
Lamb, I feel like, has cemented himself as the wide receiver one there.
Well, he's just the one that's producing more. Like in reality, the defensive coordinators they treat Cooper as the one, so he gets all the best coverage, and then So I do think that CeeDee Lamb actually gets a little watered down because of Gallup's back. You know what I mean? Because Gallup, like if you think about it, Gallup has he's the guy who's had rapport with Dak the longest. Like he looks for Gallup in in
certain situations.
Yeah. Like third down situations, I've seen him look for him. You know what I mean? That's this is like obviously in the past couple of years, but and then since CeeDee Lamb's been back, if you think about it, this is the most we've saw with Dak and CD because we only saw 5 games of it last year. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
they're still like gelling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And but like you said, it's going to water down CD Lamb a little bit, which I think is the most important part of this. Is I don't think you should expect the same numbers from CD Lamb going forward.
Yeah, do better, CD Lamb.
I mean, I don't even blame him. Just their offense, when you have, like, I saw someone post on Twitter recently, there's too many mouths. Like, there's no such thing as the too many mouths to feed narrative because there's like half the wide receiver ones, half the wide receiver ones have a wide receiver 2 on the same team as them for fantasy purposes. Which is true, but then when you don't see any wide receiver 3s in there, like a third wide receiver from the same team producing those numbers.
Yeah, but sometimes you'll have a wide receiver 3 in fantasy who's the number 1 on the team, like Marvin Jones. You know what I mean? Or like, because he's the WR3 week to week that could have some WR1 finishes, or you have teams that throw the ball at a high clip. Like, for example, Van Jefferson. When it was Van Jefferson, Woods, and Kupp, Jefferson was garnering 14% of the target market share. But 14 is not a lot, but it is a lot when you're the second highest passing team. You know what I mean? So there's that. You know what I mean? Like, if you're the third receiver on Baltimore, you're not eating. You know what I mean? Because they have a small...
that's. I mean, the offense you're in is very important to that, but also it's like extremely rare to see 3 fantasy viable passing options on a team. 2 is not uncommon, but 3 is extremely rare.
I mean, we've seen it before with the Rams and Goff because it was Cook, it was Brandon Cooks, Kupp, and Woods. You know what I mean? But what's funny is like how the football gods will just like even the playing field. You know what I mean? Like, they were phenomenal 2018. They're like, you know what? Let's remove Cooper Kupp, torn ACL, right? And then look at they just did it again. They're like, you know what? There's too much firepower.
It's too much, yeah.
Get rid of Robert Woods.
I mean, even when you look at teams like Kansas City, right? And they had some amazing. Hold on, I'm gonna come back to this. Let's help this guy out first. Yeah. DJ Moore, Brandon Ayuk, Chris Godwin, Hunter Renfrow, pick 2 full PPR.
Okay,
Godwin, Renfrow.
To me, man, see, the DJ Moore sucks that it's fucking Walker, man, and DJ Moore just been. I want to go Ayuk and who's the other option?
Renfrow and Godwin.
See, I like. You know what? We're going Renfrow and Godwin.
Yep, that was my initial just gut reaction.
Yeah, that's my gut reaction. I want to get Ayuk in there, but I think the safe play is going to be Godwin, Renfrow there.
I do like the fact that Jimmy plays well against the Rams. In his career, he plays well against them for fantasy purposes too. But the only thing that does suck is that you add Von Miller in there. That does make a difference. You know what I mean? But George Kittle and everything being back, I think that's why Ayuk's been kind of eating too. You know what I'm saying? And when Jimmy's coming off of 2 back-to-back 300-yard outings. That's like, you know what I mean? Like, I would probably bet that doesn't continue. You know what I mean? Like, it's a safer bet to not say that Jimmy's going for another 300. You know what I mean?
Have you guys heard anything?
I just know that he's playing. I haven't heard with
if it's
how bad it may be. I mean, I think when you have Godwin and he's active, you play him. I don't think that there's a reason to.
He has God and win in his name, so there's
exactly.
I've heard this.
Yeah, you can always go back to that.
I fact checked it. It is true.
Yes.
I haven't seen anything in the last few hours or anything except that he's playing. So, Miles was saying, I'm nothing to scare me away from him.
Man, it fucks up my whole Tyler Johnson fucking plays, man.
Oh, dude, with Jonnu Smith out, I was hearing that he might get rushing attempts and stuff this game, so I was gonna flex him and play my other tight end, right? And now he's out, and in this league, I I have Jamar Chase and Kamara's out, so I can't drop them. I don't, you know what I mean? You can only roster 3 of these guys and 2, so I need to flex a stupid tight end now, and they all suck. It's like Ryan Griffin, Gerald Everett, Hunter Hurst, Adam Troutman, Cameron Brate, Austin Hooper, Swaim, OJ Howard, Njoku, Ebron, Parham. Those are like my choices.
Oh shit, Parham.
Tremble.
I play Parham. They were talking about they want to get him more looks and get him more involved. And in the last couple of weeks, it's been
the later game against Minnesota. Ebron has Detroit, but it's like we talked about. It's Mason Rudolph.
Yeah.
Njoku's there, but he's playing New England.
Revenge narrative. Ebron versus his old team.
Albert O's questionable, so Cameron Brate's not really reliable. Troutman's there versus Tennessee. Everett versus Green Bay now that Russell Wilson's back.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I mean, when you're looking for a tight end,
Green Bay's not the greatest against the tight end, but now there is Tennessee. It's just like
that was the other one that was intriguing to me.
Troutman.
Yeah, but you can't trust Troutman though, because it might mess around. Like
he was 4 for 47 in the loss to the Falcons, and I
don't know if I trust Simeon too.
Yeah, or Jawan. I mean, it could be Juwan Man Johnson for all.
It's coming, Juwan Man. What about Everett then?
But back to my point though, even that I like Everett, but with Kansas City, even that like prolific year with Mahomes where he was just killing it, breaking all sorts of records, they still only had 2 options there fantasy wise. They had Kelsey and Hill, and that was it.
They still do. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, but it's just hard to it's rare to see a third fantasy option.
This is gonna sound crazy, but so I totally agree with what you're saying. But when in reality their third option was Sammy, and that helped everything.
Oh yeah, but fantasy wise, it was atrocious.
Yeah, you would never start. But that's the problem here. Is that I think that's why the Chiefs' offense is so bad. You don't have another guy that's a legit 4-4 threat, big body down the field. You just have Josh Gordon, who no one has to respect at all. He's just all he is 6'4". You know what I mean?
So we're thinking. Sorry, just to go back to this: Parham, Troutman, or Everett.
Yeah, I would go with Everett.
The later game. Yeah, because who else is there besides Everett?
I'm gonna go Parham, because Everett, it's he rotates snaps more often than not, and if you look at Joe Lombardi, that's the OC for the Chargers. You know what I mean? They using the tight end in the red zone is what they've been doing going on.
I don't know, man. Parham hasn't seen more than 3 targets in a game. I was just looking at his log. He is huge. They're all red zone targets, so that's good.
Yeah, and it's not too different from Everett though when you look at his game log. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, they're pretty even there. Well, I'm gonna have to play one of them, so I'll let you guys know who it is.
They're playing in the same time window, so at least there's that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm excited to see how it plays out too. I hope you choose the right one.
Yeah, me too, man. That'd be great. Because I'm in first place in this league, but I'm telling you, it's that cutthroat league where you can't really roster players, and I've had to let go of David Montgomery and Antonio Gibson already in this league. So it's just I don't want to drop Kamara or Chase.
Glad you're doing better, J-Lo.
That's good to hear, J-Lo.
Shout out to J-Lo.
It was those Bud Lights that he's drank the other night.
They're too hard, too strong. Well, I think I'm a end the show here, guys.
We have nothing else to talk about. No more injuries.
No more injuries that I know of. Hopefully, we keep it that way.
Geez.
Yeah. Don't jinx us here, Miles.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no. let's keep it cool, keep it light, because it's been a tough with the bye weeks and the players that are out. Like we talked about, Harris with a concussion, Chubb on COVID, Robert Woods with the unfortunate ACL tear. Chris Carson did not make his return from off of the IR, so he's still in that practice window. So it's Alex Collins' season. Oh, he had 7. Holy geez. Big Ben on the COVID list. Aaron Rodgers back in. Claypool out with the what is it? A toe?
Yeah.
So Claypool's out with a toe. So that's two of your Steelers there. Felton also out running back on the COVID list with Chubb. Kamara out with a knee issue. Jamal Williams with a hip, I believe, and Chase Edmonds is been moved to the IR, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Yeah.
So
those
are the ones.
Benjamin's
Those are the ones I knew
season
of.
has begun.
I think Benjamin is a decent stash, especially in deeper leagues. I mean,
I'm telling you.
I have a league with a bunch of guys like Peterson and Benjamin and Pollard and Ingram, and they're just like all on my bench right now.
Benjamin, I mean, that offense runs the ball. I think either second or third most in the NFL. And James Conner, we've seen it year after year, cannot carry the load. So like a full workload on his own. So, Benjamin is going to have to take some of the carries no matter what James Conner gets, and if for some reason they don't, you still want to stash him because James Conner will not be able to carry the load and he'll end up getting hurt. And then, Benjamin will be the workhorse. So,
right. Yeah, no, I think that's a really good stash. I know I did that in at least one league where I had space on my bench. So I did that with a lot of stuff. There were a lot of guys where you speculative ads or you pick up somebody, put them on your IR for a couple of weeks and see what happens. So
J Love
playing the game.
He's also Arizona fan
insider.
Yeah, saying Hopkins and Murray will not play.
Yeah. So make plans to pivot there. Make other arrangements. Like I said, I'm playing Tannehill and Carr in place of Murray in a couple of leagues because I heard the news last week is basically I played those players because Murray was out last week as well.
Yeah,
those are some great pivots.
They're not bad.
Fantasy purposes, Derek Carr is bone.
Yeah. He always throws for a ton of yards. So
300 yards, So
yeah, it doesn't help when they just had to drop their number one pick from last year too.
Well,
it's not their fault that he's an idiot who wants to drive drunk with a gun.
Oh yeah, no. From
last about the other one.
No, the other one, their cornerback.
But it seemed like he had some issues coming his way anyway as well, or something, some legal issues.
Oh yeah. That's why they dropped him. Also an idiot.
They just got to stop drafting Dallas Cowboys or future Dallas Cowboys. That's what they got to do.
Yeah. The Dallas Cowboys are so excited. They're like, nice, we're going to get another first round pick here in a couple months.
What's funny is, who's another team like that is the Bengals. Like the Bengals would be like, hell yeah, the dude choked his pregnant girl. He's going to fall in the draft.
Let me go draft him.
You know what I mean?
And everyone else is like, you don't need him to fall. You have the first pick of the draft
already. Yeah. Bengals.
It's funny because they always get the character issue guys over there with the Bengals.
Well, at least you can look at those places as area destinations of second chances.
Yeah, that's a brutal stack right now.
Yeah.
That is a brutal stack to have right now. I mean, I'm sure it was working out up
until last week.
Yeah, because Hopkins wasn't a world beater this year because of the way the targets were getting distributed, but he was still being, he's still very consistent for fantasy.
With that stack, it's always nice,
What's crazy is Hopkins, by definition, is boom or bust. He had the big game. He was either a big game or not.
Yeah. That's true. 6 to 10 points or 20 to 30.
We need to get him. Really. We need to get him Tom Savage back.
Yeah, where they just hyper target him all game. And that worked. We were like when they played in those days, we were like in every single game. They were like 1-score games, and we'd win like half of them.
It's so crazy because the idea, like we saw it last year, like the first couple weeks when Hopkins came to the Cardinals, it was amazing, and then like. You start adding more pieces and they really do spread the ball a lot. Then on top of that, they're like, we can run the ball too. You know what I mean? And they just want to run it now. And that's I hate Cardinals for fantasy this year. At least I'm not alone on this because no one's.
And that same logic is why I was on Allen Robinson. I was like, he's just going to be the number one and get hyper targeted. And it just turns out that was Brandon Cooks this year. So I traded, like I said earlier in the show, before, unfortunately, Robert Woods, maybe I would have, if I had some insight or had known, maybe I would have tried to sneak Robert Woods away instead of Devonta Smith. But I turned Devonta Smith into Brandon Cooks, so that felt really good.
Yeah.
I gave away 2 Devontas. I picked up Devonta Freeman on waivers. The guy needed somebody to play this week at running back, and I outbid him on the waivers by 2. So then I turned around and I got Devonta Smith and Devonta Freeman, who I beat him on waivers with. And I go, here you go. Give me Brandon Cooks, who's on bye. And he said, sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I feel good about it. I turned top.
I always
receiver
have
into
Brandon
top 20.
Cooks ranked higher than everyone every year. So I'm
and I think that
Brandon Cooks lover.
I think the bye week they get a little bit right. They start looking the way they did in the first 2 games of the season, where he gets 10 to 13 targets and probably gets into the end zone because the offense looks a little bit better with Tyrod. But I know it didn't look that great, but he was cold.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what they can do now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to get my
benefits.
lineups going here, guys. So I'm going to call it a show.
Yeah. Good.
See you guys next week.
Peace.
What's up, everyone? This is Clock Management. I'm your host, Justin.
I'm your host, Bogart Scott-Free. We're going to get right into this thing.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me on.